Hey everyone, finish watching the next episode of Mystic Force Legendary Catastros. Udana tells the Rangers the legend of Catastros, Korag's horse Zord. It was unable to be tamed and was taken by Korag during the Ancient Magic War. Some shenanigans with Claire accidentally turning her hair into whipped cream, then go on for a short eternity. Mordecon nags Korag to release him. Necroli snitches on Korag, telling Mordecon that Korag stole the Ranger's Zord-combining magic and kept it for himself. Mordecon gives Necroli a weapon to use on Korag. Nick is riding his motorcycle when suddenly it disappears and he's on the back of Catastros. This turns out to just be a dream. The next day, the Rangers see Korag become his Zord form. They use their Titan Dragon formation against him. Suddenly, Necroli appears and shoots Korag in the back. Korag tries to teleport away, but the Rangers hold on to him and Nick is sucked away into another dimension. He's not alone, though. Catastros is there with him. Nick runs from it for some reason. Maybe he has equinophobia. The other Rangers search for Nick and meet Phineas. They think it's hopeless, but Phineas inadvertently inspires them not to give up. Catastros catches up with Nick eventually, and it lays down. Nick thinks it must be hurt, so he takes a look and sees Catastros was wounded when Necroli fired at Korag. Nick wonders if his magic wand could help. The Rangers find a possible solution in a book. If Korag's spell is said backwards, it could bring Nick back. They can't remember the spell. It was something like Fettuccine Alfredo, offers Chip. Nick, meanwhile, tries out a spell he heard Claire use earlier to turn her hair back to normal. It unfortunately doesn't work on Catastros' wound. In the underworld, Korag knocks Mordecon flat on his ass. So this is supposed to be the big bad powerful guy. Mordecon upholds Zeltrax's proud legacy of looking cool but otherwise being a little loser. Korag sends out a monster and the Rangers go to fight it. Nick, meanwhile, is finally able to get the spell to work and Catastros helps Nick escape the dimension. Chip finally remembers the spell and says it backwards, freeing Nick and Catastros. Korag is shocked to see Nick riding his Zord, and even more shocked when Nick combines his Titan form with him, forming the Centaurus Phoenix Megazord. He defeats the monster and regains their combining magic. Catastros suddenly returns to Korag and they leave. Udana congratulates Nick later. She tells him about what the others went through trying to rescue him. This is probably one of the best episodes so far, but it's still a little clunky in places. Udana's story of Catastros is not scary, like at all, so it's a little awkward when it's treated as the scariest thing anyone's ever heard.
That was the scariest story I have ever heard.
I think originally this episode dealt with Nick having a phobia of horses. This would fit so much better in my opinion, and Udana telling Nick he overcame his fear at the end would make so much more sense. A ranger bonding with a horse was done before in Lost Galaxy, though there the horse was just a normal non-magic horse. The villains are particularly irritating this time for some reason. I don't know exactly what it is, but every time there's an underworld scene, I just want it to be over. Maybe it's because of how boring they are, maybe it's because they don't have any clear motivations, maybe it's their grating voices. There's some backstabbing going on, and that's nothing new to Power Rangers, but Korag doesn't seem to mind. Why does he go right back to them then? Is he stupid? Is everyone on the villain's side of things Zeltrax-level idiots? The Rangers get some nice moments. I especially like Chip's attempts at remembering Korag's spell. Claire's hair thing goes on way longer than I think it needed to. The Rangers all stand around and laughing for an awkwardly long time. One thing I wish could be expanded on was Korag and Catastros' relationship. Is Catastros loyal to Korag, or is he being controlled by Korag? How did Korag manage to tame him when so many others failed? Did he even tame him, or is he using magic? The relationship reminds me a little bit of Magna Defender and the Torozord. There's a couple of parallels to Lost Galaxy here. Torozord was an ally to Magna Defender before hatred consumed him. Could Korag have once been good? What could his backstory be? So yeah, decent episode this time. I'm curious to see what happens next. That's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.
It was something like Fettuccine Alfredo.